So I want to go over a few things for the cheerleading clinic since we didn't get to have a practice to discuss it. So I'm just going to talk through some of the stuff that we're going to be doing. So I know a lot of you haven't even done a cheerleading clinic before, maybe you've attended one, but not from the older girls' perspective. So I wanted to give you an idea of what to expect. So I'm going to kind of go through the order of what we'll probably be doing. When we get there, I'm going to pick you up, or Mrs. Calder, Mrs. Coleman, from the school, from the North Campus, and drive you over. And once you get to the South Campus, you need to change really quick into your practice clothes. Make sure you bring good cheerleading shoes. And the girls can eat, the younger girls can eat a snack. They may have already eaten it when we get there. So you need to pretty well be ready to jump in and go when we get there. The most important thing to remember when we're doing this is to not be like, you need to be kind of like a babysitter mindset where you're going to be try to act a little older than your age, more like a teenager or an adult would, so that you can help these girls. You want to make it fun for them, but also you don't want to get on their level and act like a child. So I know that may have not come across quite right, but that's the idea. I want you to think more like an adult would, as far as you're going to be more of a teacher role than a student role to help the younger girls. And you also want to be fun with them and make them show interest in them so they feel important and so they enjoy it. So if you will show an interest in the girls, they will love it. So instead of talking, I don't want you to stand around and talk with your friends. I want you to get involved with the girls. So I don't want to see 2 or 3 of you standing around talking. You always need to be in the middle of the younger girls, trying to make them feel welcome and talking to them, helping them with different things. So when we start out, I'm going to give each of the girls labels, and you'll probably be helping me write their names and putting their names on their shirts, so we'll have all of their names. And then you're going to be called the big sisters, and they're going to be called little sisters. So I'm going to pair you up with some little sisters. So big sisters will be paired up with little sisters. And I'll probably start out by having you talk to them, or I'll tell them a question that I want everybody to go around in your group and answer. So you as the big sister need to lead out in that and make it fun for them. So maybe one of the questions would be, what food would you like to eat a bunch of? Or what do you like to do for your hobbies? Or what's your favorite things to do in the summer? So don't just like answer the question and then nobody else is talking. Try to get conversations going with them. Think about what somebody their age would be into and try to get conversations going with them. That's just to try to be like an icebreaker so they'll feel more comfortable around us. And then we're going to circle up in the middle and we'll do stretches. I'll be telling you which stretches we're going to do, and we're going to simplify it some. So it'll be easier, and I will explain things more thoroughly than I usually do. So while we're doing that, if you see any girls are having trouble figuring out how to do it, you walk up to them and you show them really nicely how to help them do that. And then we'll do our motions. We'll show them, first of all, smiling and how to do things sharp and clasps. Sorry, my dogs are barking. High V's, low V's, punch, and then how to do your hands on your hips. So, and then we may do some Simon Says with that to see how well they remember their motions. And then we'll go over jumps. So for jumps, we're going to make it a lot simpler than we usually do it. So the first thing we'll go over is an approach. And instead of starting with your hands by your side and clasping and then going to the high V, we're just going to teach them to go straight on your tippy toes and do a high V. So to make it much easier. So I'll probably have them all get high V and on tippy toes, and we'll wait there, and then we'll teach them the approach of crossing your arms and bending your legs, and then going up for the jump, and then a clean landing. So once we do that, then we'll also teach them the tuck and the spread eagle. We're going to start out on a high V, same thing, and go into the tuck, and then on your tippy toes, and going to a spread eagle and clean landing. And let's see. So we'll also be doing stunting. We're not going to have, since we're just doing a one-day clinic, we won't have a lot of time to stunt, and we're just going to keep it super easy. One of the huge things we need to remember is they are always on a mat. If anybody's stunting, they're always going to be on a mat, and I'm going to talk to them about safety with stunting. And so probably the only stunt that we're going to be doing is we'll have them do a double base thigh stand, but instead of just doing 2 bases with a lunge like this, to make it easier, we're going to have them get down on their back knee. So we're going to teach them, and I'm going to have some of you demonstrating this also for a lot of these things, motions and jumps and all. So the base position, they're going to be down on their knee and have the flyer put the foot in the pocket, and then once again put your hand on their toe, around their toe, and then below their knee. That's for both of the bases on both sides. So the flyer, if you're a flyer demonstrating, I want you to remember, and this is going to be a little bit different. Still put your hands on their shoulders to get up, so your one foot's in the pocket, and we'll go 1, 2, dip, and make sure you lock, and then step over and high V. That's how we want to demonstrate it. To get off, we're not getting off the front. To make it easier, you'll put your hands back on the base of shoulders, and you'll step off the back and then clean. And then back spot will have the waist like normal. So that may be the only stunt that we do. If we do anything else, it would just be also on the knees, and it's same thing for the bases. Well, actually it would be this way, just one base, and then we would have the flyer just go up into a liberty. She'd step in the pocket, 1, 2, down, up, and she'd go into a liberty. And then to get down, she could put her hands back on the shoulders of the base and then step off and clean. And then for the really little girls, if we're not able to get everybody doing that, if it's too much for the younger girls, then we may just have one of the girls go down on all fours like this, and then somebody not even actually get up on her, but we may have another girl just put her foot up on her back and do a high V, something like that for the routine. So now I'm going to go over the 2 cheers, or it's really just short sidelines that we're going to be teaching them. So it's super easy, so we'll have them start with their feet apart and hands on the hips for all this. And it's lions, lions, let's go, lions, 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 let's go, lions, 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 let's go, lions. So that's one of the sidelines. And then the other one is go, fight, win, let's go, VCA. Let go, fight, win. Let's go, VCA. Go, fight, win. Let's go, VCA. So those are the 2 sidelines that we're going to teach them. And we're going to put that into a routine. I haven't figured out the routine yet, but it'll be something very simple using those 2 sidelines and maybe a transition like the lions or something like that. So we'll have them put their stunt in that little routine, and maybe something else kind of creative. And then for extra things that we may have time for, we may just circle up and have everybody go around and show their favorite jump. We also may circle up around some mats and let everybody do some tumbling if they want to do that, or they can choose to do a jump, or just something fun that they would like to show us. So you can make a difference in these girls' lives, and they will think that it is fantastic if you'll just show an interest in them. So if you're more of a shy person, try to come out of yourself a little bit and try to make it fun for them. Don't feel embarrassed, because you're older, they're going to think you're fantastic if you're just nice and sweet to them. So kind of like a babysitter. So have a buddy, have a couple of girls hang around you, your big sister, little sister people, or somebody else you have that you just show an interest in. And I don't want you talking amongst yourselves or hanging with your friends. Remember, you're going to be if we're in a circle with them, you guys should be all spread around in that circle, never standing by each other. If we're teaching them, you should be mixed in among them. Don't stand at the very back and not do anything. Get right in there with them so they can see what you're doing. And I think that's pretty much it. So I will see you girls on Monday, ready to go for the cheer clinic. And then on Tuesday, we're going to be cheering for the JV game at 5:30. So we'll be doing that, and then the younger girls will be sitting on the bleachers in front, and if we're doing lions or something, they'll be yelling with us. And then they're going to be doing halftime, and we'll probably break apart the last routine that we did and just do little pieces of those during the between the quarters or timeouts. So I want to make sure we're geared up and ready for that. So be ready 4:30 on Monday. Make sure you've had something to eat, at least a little snack or something, so you're ready to go. Okay, thank you.